Good evening and welcome back to What's Up with the News. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at everything that's happening in the news today. But before we do that, I want to just remind you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and to sign up for our memberships as well if you can. It would be really, really helpful. Um, Also, just checking with my producer as to why the chat is disabled on this live stream, because chatting with you guys is the best part of the live stream. So obviously, there's been some mistake there. We're going to fix that in a second. We've got a lot of Kejriwal-led developments, obviously, because he's now been out of jail for 2 full days, and he has made full use of these 2 full days. So he is campaigning, obviously, the limited amount of time that he has to campaign, and that's really what we're looking at right now. So I'm just going to take you through, to begin with today, all of the statements that Kejriwal is making, and from you as well. If you believe that Kejriwal being released from jail is really going to be a turning point for this election. Let me see. Life's Crazy has said, is the first one here. He says, have we begun? Yes, we have. We also have Agnello Fernandez, who's joining us now. He says, good morning. He's joining us from the other end of the world. Thanks, Agnello. Shell D says, good day to everyone. Greetings from Canada. Do like the stream, guys. The more likes we have, the more it will pop up on the algorithm. More people will be able to discover us. Anuj Wilfa is here. Hi, Anuj. Just big announcement for me. Over the weekend, we crossed 300,000 subscribers. So that was like, I was watching it sort of tick, 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 and here we are. Of course, we'd like to go from strength to strength. So we'd love to have more of you share these videos with your friends and family. Also, we have a WhatsApp group now, and my producer Ira will share a link to the WhatsApp group on the chat window, so you can join that group as well. It's a WhatsApp channel where we put all of the videos as we upload them, also the stories, the big stories that are on our app as well, that you can read and share with friends and family. Manoj says, glad I made it on time. Geetanjali says, I thought it didn't matter at all. People in Delhi were with Kejriwal irrespective. Well, he's now, I think he's now drawing blood, right? So he's saying everything he needs to say, or he thinks he needs to say, in order to make a difference. Vishesh says you're doing a wonderful job of keeping interested person well informed. Thanks, Vishesh. Gopal Krishna says, nice to join the chat. I did want to tell you this, right? So I know that there are a lot of different sources on YouTube right now for news. And a lot of those sources are perhaps saying things that are not entirely journalistic. And my team and I have these discussions on a regular basis, because there are people who say sort of on the nose things. And as journalists, we can't do that. We have to be factual. We have to, stay with the facts. We can't editorialize that much. And so I do realize that sometimes when we put out videos, the headlines are not as clickbaity as the others, or it might not seem as exciting. It's the long road to take to where we want to get. But in this environment right now, where now you clearly have two sides of this election, and both sides are saying, and including all of your sort of influencer content creators, are on two sides. And both sides are saying really sharp things that will influence your opinion in this election. At that point is where my team and I stand in the middle, and our aim is to just give you the information and not influence the way you're thinking, not influence the way you're voting, not telling you what to do, other than, if you can, please go out and vote, because there's nothing more important than that, in my opinion. So I have to keep, I realize, saying it over and over again so that people know what we're doing and why we're here. Manoj says, I'd see the same for Beetroot app. Other sources are filled with ads and highly influenced. So, of course, the more you support us, the better it will be, because Beetroot app right now is not being monetized. We would like to do so in the future, but we need to be able to actually monetize it in order to make it viable. Pranav says, I finally discovered your YouTube channel. Thanks, Pranav, for finding our YouTube channel. Please, of course, share it with friends and family. Ayush Singh says, catching you maybe after 2 years. Happy to see that you're alive. I'm happy to note I'm alive as well. Thank you, though. Chirag says, thank you to you and your team. It's such a tough job. Thank you, Chirag. I appreciate the fact that you're following us on Instagram and now following us on YouTube. Give us feedback, though, on how we can make this more interesting while we continue to hold on to our journalistic sort of ideals. Let me see what else we have and who else is here. We're just going to notch up to 100 viewers and then we'll start going through the news. Really, and I want to know from you guys, do you believe I did? Anushka says, you catch a glimpse of the storm. I was standing out on at the balcony, and it was just dust, 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 and then finally some rain. But we do have that story about 100 people trapped under a giant hoarding near Ghatkopar. 35 of those people, as we speak right now, have been freed up or have been rescued. The rest are still trapped. So, not great news for Mumbai after that little spell of rain. Anushka, we'll bring you that story in a bit. Okay, we're up to 101 viewers. We're going to start with the news right now. Like I told you, if I share my screen, I'm reading out of the Times of India right now. They put out the news desk of the Times of India has put out this very useful article. It has all of the big statements that the Delhi Chief Minister has made since he was released from jail. And like I said, the gloves are off. This man is drawing blood at this point. He is not holding anything back, right? He's just really out there to make a dent in the BJP campaign. So the first thing he did, of course, from after getting released on bail, he made a statement saying we're saving this country from a dictatorship. He said that I'm fighting with everything I have against the dictatorship. I'm requesting you to fight with me as well. And this was a statement he made straight outside of jail as soon as he stepped out from there. After that, he's been speaking as well. So this is one of the things he said. That the Prime Minister has a one nation, one leader agenda. So if, for example, he said the BJP does win, all of the other opposition leaders, including Mamata Banerjee, MK Stalin, Uddhav Thackeray, Tejasvi Yadav, all of them will be in jail, is what he said, if the BJP wins the national elections. And that was the other big statement. And this is all from a press conference that he had. He said, NDA will not cross 230 and the India bloc will form the government. Now, this is a massive statement. And, I just want you to note now the sort of journey this election has made. Because when we started off, every single sort of analyst was telling us the BJP is winning hands down. The question is by how much? And the BJP started off with a campaign saying, Ab ki baar 400 par. We're hearing less and less of 400 par, really. But when Arvind Kejriwal says 230 seats for the NDA, you're like, oh, okay. But the interesting thing is a lot of analysts I'm speaking to off camera are saying 400 par is possibly not going to happen. And they're looking at something sub 300 at this point, which is a massive change. Remember, as of today, we're halfway through, 4 phases done, 3 phases to go. In this election that seems to be outlasting the heat wave, which is going on and on and on, we're all exhausted. But it is making some sort of journey, and it is perhaps not as open and shut as it was at the beginning. But this next one was really the googly from Arvind Kejriwal, where he basically said that, and I'm quoting him here, he said, I asked the BJP, who's your Prime Minister candidate? If you form the government, they will first tackle UP CM moved from power. Then Modi ji's favorite Amit Shah will be made the PM. So I want to alert the people of this country. Modi ji is asking for the votes for himself, but he's really seeking votes for Amit Shah for the Prime Minister. I want to ask you, Modi ji and Amit Shah ji, who will fulfill the guarantees? So he's suggesting a couple of things with this, right? He suggested that Narendra Modi will retire midterm and then Amit Shah will take over. This caused ripples all over the place, right? So this was the larger. And we had Amit Shah come out and clarify that no, the rule does not apply to Narendra Modi. He will continue as our Prime Minister. There is no other leader. Here's the thing though. I feel that when Arvind Kejriwal has gotten a leader like Amit Shah to respond to him, Arvind Kejriwal is holding the cards at this point, right? Because he is playing the cards and the BJP is responding to him. So the BJP has now said, oh, what are you saying? You're only contesting some 22 seats. you mean nothing in the larger scale. So we've had those statements come out, and we've had a lot of statements from the BJP reminding people about the corruption, saying that, oh, he's a corrupt leader who's out on bail. But going by this, Arvind Kejriwal is setting the agenda, and the BJP is responding to him. And that is a change in tone. So, like for this, for example, Kejriwal said voting for the Bharatiya Janata Party will make Amit Shah the Prime Minister, right? To which Amit Shah has responded saying Modi will continue to serve the country in the top post after the election and complete his term. And I must tell you, even from within RSS sources, there was some buzz that, there are two things. One is that he will be elevated into sort of like a Bhishma Pitama, Lord King sort of state. And sort of disconnect himself from the daily politics. There was another point of view that because there was a retirement age within the BJP, he will hit that retirement age in 2 years' time. So at 73 right now, the Prime Minister. Now, Kejriwal on Sunday, after the Home Minister responded, actually went out to say the 75-year retirement rule is only for party leaders and not for the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will retire. It's not clear who will fulfill his guarantees. So, really, Kejriwal ruffling some feathers there within the BJP. Some of the other statements that he has made, right? Yogi Adityanath will be replaced as Chief Minister. He said, and he's listed out all of the other BJP leaders who've sort of been put to pasture and retired forcibly, one might argue. The first name that will come on that list is L.K. Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Vasundhara Raje, Manohar Lal Khattar, Raman Singh. He said after this, the next name will be Yogi Adityanath, who will be replaced 2 months after the Lok Sabha results. There's been no hurried clarification on that. Just if the India bloc forms the government, the fate of the country will change. He said it's a historic moment. The direction of the country will change if we form the government. Now, this was the interesting thing. Kejriwal also put out his own set of 10 guarantees. Now, remember, it was Kejriwal who really started this whole guarantees game, right? Or basically what the Prime Minister called the Rebri culture, which is that you promise free stuff, free electricity, free water, that sort of thing. After that, we saw free travel for women, bus travel for women. After that, we saw the Congress pick it up in various states, and it seemed to have worked. Post that, the BJP responded to it with Modi Ki Guarantee, which is their lead statement in their campaign. And now Kejriwal has responded to the response in Kejriwal Ki Guarantee. So he's made a list of 10 things, including free electricity, free education, healthcare, creating 2 crore jobs in the coming year, full autonomy to the Indian Army to regain territory from occupied China. Now, I'll tell you why this is really interesting. Because this is a Kejriwal guarantee for the whole country when Kejriwal is actually contesting Delhi, maybe a little bit of Punjab. It's interesting, he's sort of controlling the narrative right now, even for the India bloc, in the face of larger parties like the Congress party. And I am curious to see how this will affect his relationships within his own alliances. And then he's, of course, gone on to say that India will be a dictatorship like India and Russia if Narendra Modi wins this election. If you choose the AAP symbol, I will not go back to prison. Now, in this statement, what he's done effectively is made India seem like a country where people who lose elections go to jail and people who win elections, no need to go to jail. Very Pakistan sounding, right? This is what happens in Pakistan. It doesn't happen in India. Our law is stronger than that. But this is a statement coming in from Arvind Kejriwal. Then he said the BJP couldn't tolerate the work that I was doing. This is, of course, this photograph, a reference to Hanuman, a religious symbol that that Arvind Kejriwal, leans on very heavily in his politics. He also made a visit to the Hanuman temple and he invited the general public to visit with him and then held that press conference on Sunday. The BJP plans to topple the Aam Aadmi Party's government in Punjab and Delhi. So these were the big statements, really. Arvind Kejriwal had made. Some of your comments, let me see. Okay, so we have Alaric who says that his mom is really fond of my views. Tell her I said good evening. Love from Shillong. Sham Rangila alleged that he couldn't file his nominations. What's going on? We're going to take a look at that of Sham Rangila as well. Rizwan has said the whole of Indian media are Godi media, except for a few journalists. That's really sad, but it's also very, very true. If you see some of the interviews that have been given right now by the ruling party to mainstream news channels, it's almost like my head is exploding most of the time because I'm just like, how can you not ask a counter question? I give an example. The finance minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, actually sat down with a leading journalist and said, I decided not to contest the elections because I don't have the funds, I don't have the money it takes to be a candidate in this election. And the journalist did not ask her, Madam, how much money is that exactly? Can you give us a number? Now, irrespective of what amount the finance minister answers, the question would then mean, are you telling me that every single BJP candidate is spending this kind of money? Because there are rules in the election commission. There are rules about how much money you can spend, how much money each candidate can spend. The party can spend, but each candidate has a cap on how much they can spend. So are you telling me that the finance minister does not have that amount of money in the cap? So lots of interviews being done right now that are actually just PR pieces, and that is quite heartbreaking. Let me see. Ayush says, I think it's good he's giving voice to complex problems. Someone called Bahar has come and said Papu Media. But you're here listening, no? Come, welcome. You can write whatever you want. Swami Vivekananda in the comment section says, I think the BJP can't hold on to their narrative game anymore. Weird things. Yeah. So there are some weird things happening, and every day we're getting really odd stories coming out. Every time the country votes, something strange is happening. So this story we actually talked about. I think this is the one you were referring to, right? BJP's Madhavi asks, that's the visual. This is in Telangana and Hyderabad. BJP candidate Madhavi Lata actually went to the polling booth, and I can't play the video because it's an ANI video. I'm not allowed to, but she basically asked. The tone is actually shocking. The manner in which she's speaking to citizens who are going to vote. She should be nicer at least today. And she's asking them to take off their burqas and show their faces. And she's saying, "Show me your other card, show me your Aadhaar card, show me your voter card." Like, who are you? All insinuating that they are not entitled to vote in some way. And I just want to point out this. I'm reading it out of NDTV, and NDTV says Madhavi Lata, BJP's firebrand candidate. Like, okay, thank you for your editorialization. So she's facing a police case right now after the video showed her asking burqa women at the polling booth to reveal their faces on camera, as we can see. ANI there helpfully recording everything. And then asking for their photographs and their voter cards. She's up against Asauddin Owaisi. And now we understand that a case has been filed against her. Now she has told ANI, I am a candidate. As per law, a candidate has the right to check ID cards without face masks. I am not a man, I'm a woman. With lots of humility, I requested them. If somebody's going to make a big issue, it means that they are scared. No, I just want to point out, if she says that she has the right to check ID cards, the fact that she's checking Muslim women, this is a gesture story there, really, that is worth noting. Then, of course, there's this story. And this one's really interesting. But I just want to see what your comments are before we move further. Thanks, Alaric. Alaric says, I gained respect after leaving mainstream media to start my own. Aaron Castellino, what do you think will be the impact of Kejriwal's release? I think it will be massive impact. At least see the Delhi seats. So I think there are 9 or 7 seats from Delhi, which the BJP has continuously won for 2 elections. I think there might be a question mark there. Chandigarh, Punjab, there'll be question marks there as well. Remember, Delhi doesn't vote until the 1st of June. So there is room there for Kejriwal to actually turn the opinion. Because my understanding was up till now, Delhi was voting Kejriwal for state and Narendra Modi for centre. Kejriwal has an opportunity now through his campaigning to change that. Let's see if he manages to do so. Vinita says, good evening. Hi, Ankush Kumar. The end of the respect game for Rahul Modi, attacking him constantly. Yep. So I want to take you through this story, right? So there were 3 people who put out a request for a debate. And these are not regular people. Retired Supreme Court Judge Madan Lokur, former High Court Judge AP Shah and journalist M. Ram, the former editor of The Hindu, so not again a small journalist, they put out an open letter request to both Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, saying that basically only thing we're hearing as citizens is these unsubstantiated accusations against each other, which is true, really. The letter said that we're not hearing anything constructive and we're not hearing proper plans from either of you. So we are requesting both of you to join a debate. To which Rahul Gandhi has responded, saying that I myself am very happy to participate. Either me or Mallikarjun Kharge will participate. Let's wait for the Prime Minister. So that was the response from Rahul Gandhi. We now have a response from, if I don't have that open right now, Tejasvi Surya. Well, I think it's Tejasvi Surya who has now responded saying that basically, we will appoint someone from the BJP youth wing to basically debate against you. Now we'll have to see. It's the ball is in Rahul Gandhi's court to decide whether or not he wants to respond to that. The other thing that happened today was, of course, a dust storm and rain that hit Mumbai. If you can see these visuals, it was quite dramatic, really, and rain after a very long time. That is the worrying visual. A giant hoarding in Ghatkopar has collapsed and hurt, we understand, trapped 100 people underneath that hoarding. As we started this, this conversation at about 7 o'clock, the police had said that they had rescued successfully 35 people. And another 50 are still trapped under this hoarding. So these are the visuals. I'm reading out of the Times of India right now. There you are. That's that hoarding. I'll show you another visual. See there. And these really, really giant hoardings that get put up in the city, I personally think are a huge issue because obviously they're not properly secured. The second thing I personally have a problem with is these LED hoardings that we now have that are so bright at night. I don't know how anyone can drive past them without either being blinded or completely distracted by that LED hoarding. I hope the governments take note and do something about it. So 54 injured in 2 hospitals, we understand some of the information that's coming in. This is near Chedanagar Gymkhana in Ghatkopar today, unfortunately. That is what is happening. The other thing that happened that was very worrying is this. Okay, so I must tell you here, I wanted to register that this has happened because I'm not hiding from you what has happened. But my team has been looking for a second confirmation other than the BJP. We've not been able to find one. So I'm just going to tell you what the BJP has said. The BJP has said that Aam Aadmi Party Swati Malviya, who used to be the head of the Women's Commission, is now a member of Parliament, was at Arvind Kejriwal's residence. And she, and Basudhi Swaraj, who is the BJP candidate for New Delhi, has said that someone in Arvind Kejriwal's home has misbehaved with Swati Malviya. So this has basically come from Basudhi Swaraj, Sushma Swaraj's daughter. She said, we've got shameful news today that after getting instigated by Arvind Kejriwal, his OSD has beaten up and misbehaved with Swati Malviya. Now, again, immediately there was a response by Anurag Thakur, but there's been no real confirmation from Swati Malviya herself. And I would personally wait until we hear it from her because she's very media friendly. So if something was worth noting, she would have come out and said it herself. Now, this is what this is the Hindustan Times quoting the police. The police have received 2 calls. At first, the woman didn't reveal her name. At the second call, the caller said her name was Swati Malviya. So again, until Swati Malviya herself actually makes a statement, I would say we should hold our horses on this story. Another story is this one. In Afghanistan over the weekend, there were terrible floods. And of course, people are, this is climate change, guys. Everything we're seeing around us is climate change. 300 people have died. 1,600 people have been injured. 1,600 people have been injured. Now, remember, the Taliban is in charge in Afghanistan. And as a result, a lot of the international aid is not going in or not being allowed in, which makes it very difficult for the people of Afghanistan to actually battle something like this. The Taliban is doing evacuation operations, but there's a statement here from the UN's. The economy minister of Taliban has urged the United Nations, humanitarian agencies, and private sector to provide aid for food affected areas. Plea underscores urgent need for international aid. So really, they're asking for international aid. There isn't as a strong a presence of international aid in Afghanistan since the Taliban took over. Remember, everybody left. So as a result, the people of Afghanistan really not only left at the mercy of the Taliban, including and especially the women and the young girls, here at the mercy of climate change without any help from the international community, which is really quite terrible. So those are the stories that I had for you today. Gaurav says, I live in Ghatkopar. I know, I live in Chembur. It's really close by. It's breaking my heart. Yash says, I see you started these live sessions. You seem to be going great. I'm not a member, but I'm seriously considering. Best of luck. Thanks so much, Yash. So yeah, really, guys, I'm also putting out a video on all of the kryptonite sort of things in the election right now that's hurting Modi magic. That video is going to come up maybe early morning tomorrow. But if you think there are big things that you've noticed as changes in this election, put it down in the chat window, and do take a look at our video as we put it out. I wanted to say thank you so much for watching our live stream. It's a pleasure to hang out with you guys every evening and put out the news on a regular basis. I love this time together, and I love chatting with you, and I love being in regular touch with you. So remember, like, share, subscribe to our channel, sign up for our membership as well. We'll also put out our WhatsApp channel so that you can, follow the WhatsApp channel, and we keep sharing stories from our app and from our website on the WhatsApp channel that you can share with friends and family also. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Have a really nice evening. All right. Please come on Insta Lives as well, Gaurav says. I know we should be doing more Insta Lives, but I must point out to you that YouTube allows us to monetize these lives based on the number of views we get. And so it really helps us financially to do more content on YouTube. So thank you so much for signing on and for helping us out. 2 thumbs up for you guys. Thanks so much. I'm going to sign off now, but we're going to have another video put up very soon. Do take a look at that and share it with friends and family. Thanks all. Good night.